Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Welcome to this new series on ghost tangles, and this is the tile that we drew in our introductory session, and I gave you a broad idea about what is this series going to be about. Yes, today I am going to be drawing another such tile. I have a Zendala tile in front of me, and this session is also about using charcoal pencil, and in the upcoming sessions, probably as I mentioned in the introductory session also, we will also try gray jelly roll pens. We will try the scoring tool and create that background tangle effect. We will also try using the glazed Sakura jelly roll. So we'll try a lot of things, but today's session is again dedicated to using a charcoal pencil, and you already have an idea by now how it works. If you do not have a charcoal pencil, then you can always go with normal graphite pencil. Yes, we will do that also in these upcoming sessions. So I am going to be starting today with a tangle called TAMISOLO. Yes, the tangle is called TAMISOLO. Very much like Printom or Mocha, you will get a mixed feeling when you draw this tangle. So I'm going to draw a nice spiral like this. Yes, and then go back. So this part somewhat looks like a printom, and then give a nice leaf shape and come back like this. Yes, this tangle is called TAMISOLO. Now I'm going to go in the other direction like this, and then again come back just like a printom and then join it here. Yes, now you can draw this tangle in many ways, but this is how it is generally drawn. Well, you can always draw the petal shape first and then come down and do the spiral. That's entirely your choice. I am going to be drawing some of these really flowy, beautiful shapes. The tangle is called TAMISOLO, like this. Yes, probably one more here. It can go right up and then go back. It's okay to draw behind, and then you can join it here. There are small little spaces in between. You can comfortably add further auras, or you can add any filler tangle there. This space is big, so I can add a wells grid and then add further auras instead of adding simple auras like this. Yes, again, where spaces are small, you can just add simple aura like this. Again, this space is a little bigger, so we can go ahead and add a wells grid and then add further auras like this. So this is entirely your choice. You can add mukas, you can add bronx chairs in the in-between spaces, any tangle of your choice. Yes, so this tangle is TAMISOLO. Now I'm going to be adding my ghost tangle around this TAMISOLO. Yes, now how do I enhance the look of my TAMISOLO? We shall do it later. Let's first, I'm again going to be using my charcoal pencil in this session, but you can always use something else. Let's add one here also. So small wells grid makes the TAMISOLO look a little more complete. Yes, you can add, well, you can do this later also, but I'm just adding some lines and I'm going to add striping. that is ink alternate lines, alternate sections. So it adds some drama to my tile and to the tangle, something like this. Yes, we can do that for all. So one more cap inside there, and then you can add some lines, and then you can ink alternatively. Simple thing to do and adds great drama. Yes, so I'm going to do this for all. So the third one here, enclose the shape. The fourth one here, enclose the shape. And the fifth one here, drawing behind, and add the same stripes. Yeah. So I added some striping to my TAMISOLO. Now just going to add a little weight here and there to give it a little more character. Wherever you feel like, wherever you can. A little extra ink there adds to the look of the tangle. Take your time. Yes, nothing much, just a little weight is all that we are doing to add a little more to the look of our center tangle. Yes, and then we shall see if we want to add something else, we can do that later also. So I'm now going to be using my charcoal pencil. As I mentioned, this session again we are using charcoal pencil, and we'll explore other ways also to create that kind of an effect in our upcoming sessions. So I'm going to be adding these petal kind of shapes all around and draw a tangle called FEATHERFALL. Yes, so these kind of leafy petal shapes are a part of a tangle called FEATHERFALL, and I'm just going to be adding auras and nothing else to these leaf shapes. Yeah, so first add the charcoal inside, kind of coloring it, making it bold. Make sure your pencil is sharp enough. You can see this pencil is dark, quite dark, like a 4B of a graphite pencil. Yes, so I'm now adding some more, basically coloring the inside of these petal shapes, nice and flowy, that we started with. And this is pencil work. Yes, make sure they are sharp at the ends, will help you aura. And now I'm going to add auras just the way we do for the tangle FEATHERFALL. So adding auras to each of these petal shapes one by one to each. So we have almost similar number of auras to each. That's the whole idea. So let me do one side first. I don't want to put my hand on it, so we will rotate the tile and do the other side. So using medium pressure, not pushing my pencil hard. Yes, and then adding some more layers, just the same way. Try give a nice flow. To the petals, make the lines wavy, flowy. That's what the tangle is all about. Just like a feather, nice and flowy. So I'm adding one last because they are almost touching, not completely, but yes, almost. And one last here, like this. Yes, now I will do exactly the same exercise on this side also. You take your own time, don't haste up. Sharpen your pencil if it is not sharp enough. You don't want smudgy lines. Try keeping the lines clear, close. Continue adding auras till they are almost touching each other. Yes. So you can see here I have added the tangle feather fall here on both sides. Now I have again switched to my Micron, and now I'm going to be inking the in-between spaces and the rest of the space. So using a smaller nib to fill up those tiny little spaces in between. Yes, very tiny spaces. I'm using my Micron 01, and then we can switch to a bolder nib to fill up the rest of the space. Probably we can add some more layers here, something like this, and then ink the rest. So I have not erased anything yet. We will do that once we complete our tangling. So I have switched to my pen, and small little spaces in between my feather fall, I'm going back and inking it like this. Yes. Now the rest of the space, use a bolder nib like a graphic 1 or an 08, whichever is easily available with you. So I will use a graphic 1, and then I'm going to ink the rest of the space black. Yeah, I like the drama that it adds to my tile, and we will add jelly roll over it to add some tipple. So that will be fun. Yes, so take your time. Ink the rest of the space slowly with a bolder nib. As I mentioned, use an 08 or a graphic 1. And slowly ink the rest of the space. Take your time, no hurry. Make sure you ink it nicely. Yeah. Enjoy the drama that it adds to your tile. Enjoy your tile going black from white. ink nicely. Make sure there are no white spaces in between. And I will do the same exercise this side also. Yes, do it at your own pace. So I am done with inking my tile. Now what I am going to do is use my jelly roll pen and add some tipple, but a little differently. Yes. So I am first going to add some bigger dots. You can vary the size of the dots also. I am more or less keeping it simple. You can also call it puffs if you want. Surrounding my feather fall with these orbs or puffs or tipple, whatever you want to call it. That's not a problem at all. Adding one more line, probably a little smaller. Yes, something like this, diminishing in size. And then one more layer which is even smaller, like this. You can either cover up the whole space or you can leave some blacks. That's fine. Whichever way you like it. Yes, so I'm not covering up the entire space, I'm leaving some black space. You can add some very fine ones if you want, really tiny ones, like this. So I will do exactly the same exercise on the other side also. Make sure your ink has dried up, otherwise, since it is quite a bit of inking, bold inking, so your jelly roll may at times misbehave a little, so make sure your ink has dried up. So first layer I'm adding some big ones as I did in the other side, on the other side also. Yes, and the second layer will be a little smaller. Whatever spaces you have, just go with that. Take your time. And the third layer will be even smaller. And some very tiny ones, like this. Yes. So let us now first shade our TAMISOLO. So I'm going to use my normal graphite pencil and add shading to my TAMISOLO first. So let's see, how do we want to shade it? Again, it all depends on how you have used the tangle, the placement, the adjoining tangles. So as I keep saying, there is no standard way to shade any tangle. A lot depends on how you have used it, how you have placed it. and accordingly you decide on how to shade it. Yes, well, you can add shading here on both sides. Yes, you can add shading here at the ends. Make sure the whites are visible in between. And finally, and shade this. You can shade here, you can shade here. Yes, so just take your time, slowly choose where do you want to shade. And move ahead accordingly. Since we have added some weighting there, so it's a good idea to shade underneath to re-emphasize the weighting. Both sides, both ends of the striping. Some touch on the grid. Spaces are small, so just keep it to the minimum. Maybe what is already there on your stub may be sufficient. Yes. So I think we are done shading our TAMISOLO. Now if you want to redo some of the lines, revisit the lines, please do that after you have shaded your TAMISOLO. It's always a good idea to revisit lines after you have shaded. Adding a little more prominence, a little extra zen there. Take your time. It's a very important exercise, so don't haste up. Do that bit. Redo the lines wherever you can, wherever you think it is required. Yes, I think we are more or less done. So now the last thing that I'm going to do, you can always join these corners of the auras that you have added. Now I'm going to pick up my eraser, yes, and rub it over my TAMISOLO. I'm sorry, the FEATHERFALL, not the TAMISOLO. I just love the effect, and I discovered it accidentally. Yes, of course you can get this effect in many different ways, but I just love the fact that the charcoal pencil is not totally gone and it looks so subtle. Yes, just the way you want it. And I did not bother about the pen pressure while I was drawing. Yes, well, that helps a lot. What fun. Some ink portions in between, you can see how they are adding so much to the look of your tile. Yes, you want to touch a few places, make it a little more even. Some touches of ink here and there. Yes, and that's about it. I don't think we need to do anything else to our tile. Doesn't it look beautiful? Yes. So don't forget to sign and date your tile. Put in your chalk somewhere sitting cozily. Must do that. Let me write my name. Yeah, I just felt like, so I did that. Yeah, so that's about it. Must sign and date your tile. Yes, it's your creation, be proud of it. Next few sessions we'll be trying different kind of tools to create the same kind of an effect. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.